Folks are still joining us, so we're going to give it just another 30 seconds or so. We allow people to join. Whew. Take some deep breaths and get ready for where we're gonna, how we're gonna sit today. All right. Well, good afternoon. I am the Reverend Dawn Cooley, a Unitarian Universalist minister here and part of the L Surge Faith Planning Team. Welcome to Showing Up for Racial Justice, the Interfaith Coalition for Immigrant Justice, and the Sowers for Justice. These vigils are a part of the Sacred Calling Community Safety for All program, and you can sign up for those emails online. During the vigil today, there will be 2 periods of silence. The first period of silence will be 8 minutes and 46 seconds to focus our attention on people who have been killed by police violence. Then we will hear a reflection from Stachelle Bussey, the executive director of the Hope Bus and an activist on the ground here in Louisville, and a new friend of mine who I am so happy to get to know in this fight that we're in for justice. And after that, there will be a second silence during which you will be invited to share your prayerful intentions. If you are on Zoom, we invite you to share those intentions in the chat, and if you're joining us via Facebook, please share your intentions. 30. If you can't stay the whole time, or if you'd like to see it again, it will be available on the Sowers of Justice Network's Facebook page. Let us get comfortable and begin to center ourselves as we enter 526 seconds of silent vigil, 8 minutes and 46 seconds of silence to focus our attention on people who have been killed by police violence. Thank you all. It is so to be doing these meditations week after week, particularly as we get more evidence and understanding of the depth of the problem with police violence, as we continue to learn more about the Breonna Taylor case. Our guest today is supposed to be Stachelle Bussey, who, as I mentioned, is an activist on the ground here in Louisville. And I personally know that she has been running around and trying to make so many things happen, liaisoning with clergy and with the other activists here in Louisville. And it seems like she's had technological difficulties today. And that happens. So we apologize for that. I think one of the things that we can all agree on, and I'm going to give her a few more minutes to get in. One of the things we can all agree on is that the violence that is coming, particularly that violence directed toward Black and Brown people, is something that is not at all in any of our faith traditions. It is not something that is tenable. It's not of God. And here she is.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I don't know what is happening to this internet. I had to run somewhere to get on to use their Wi-Fi.
Well, Stachelle, do you need a minute to get situated, or are
you
ready?
Nope, I don't. I'm just gonna go for it right now. And
all right.
I know this is only 30 minutes, so I'm just gonna go for it right now. Is that okay?
Right. Yes, absolutely. But you might want to unmute yourself. Somehow you got muted. There we go. Oh, nope, it did it again.
I'm unmuted again. Thank you all. I just wanted to say thank you all so much for having me. I'm a little out of breath, but I just ran over here to get on this Wi-Fi. Thank you all so much for having me. And I see now that 2 weeks ago, it would have been a lot of unfamiliar faces, but I'm so glad that there are familiar faces on here who I know and can call by name and can call fellow co-conspirators in this fight. So yeah. So anybody that I don't know, I'm so sorry that I'm here late, but I'm here, Don.
Excellent. Well, we are ready for you to share your reflection with us, if you would like, and a reflection or a prayer or whatever you would like to share for the next few minutes. The stage is yours.
Thank you. I want to say something. I don't want to take up a lot of you guys' time. I know a lot of you are probably tired, as am I. I want you to think about something, and I'll kind of give you a few minutes to sit with that. One of the things that I said, I was doing a interview outside the church the other night with Waves 3. One of the most powerful moments that I've had in 126 days was when we had gathered, and it was the small group after it was the big group, Saturday night and Sunday night. And what I began to do, I said, say her name, and we said Breonna Taylor, and I said, but that's not the only name that exists. And so we begin to say names of people, of Black people, Black men and women who have died just within the several years that we know at the hands of police. And it was probably one of the most powerful moments that I had. And that was a moment that Wave 3 asked me to talk about. And I didn't realize how powerful it was until I was in my bed Monday night and those names start playing in my head. But then I took it a step further when I was doing an interview. And I said, I began to hashtag and write my own name. I began to hashtag and write the name of my sister. And so for 3 minutes, I just want you to think about your daughters and your nieces and your cousins. And I want you to think about what it would be like for them to be a hashtag. What would it be like to hear their name all over the world? What would it be like to hear that an attorney general only presented what he wanted to present. What if Breonna was white? Would a black attorney general have gotten away with that? And so just for a couple minutes, I want you to find a piece of paper and I want you to hashtag and I want you to write the names of your nieces or your cousins or your nephew or your wife or your partners or your friends. And even if you feel compelled, in the chat, write your own name as a hashtag. I did that. And I see the name that you guys wrote. And I am, as we reflect on those kind of things, I don't know, you know, I don't know, I don't know anybody you guys put in the chat. I know some of you guys put your own names, but I don't know who all decided to put in the chat or who you decided to write down. But what I do know, and one thing I can say about myself is that if it happened to you, I would be fighting for you. And I think about the way that they've kind of portrayed or tried to contaminate the name or Breonna Taylor's life. I think about the fact that we all got some dirt on us, dirt on our hands and all these things, but that still doesn't mean you deserve to die. And so I think these kind of exercises makes it way more personal to us. And I don't know what you felt, but I want you to keep that feeling. And I want you to think about Breonna's mother. And then I want you to think about people like me who saw ourselves in Breonna, just an ordinary, everyday person, ordinary, everyday girl working, going to school, having friends, just hanging out, waiting to go on trips this year. So as I pray, and I won't pray long today, I promise. I want you to hold that feeling and know how Black women feel every day. Watching our cousins and our friends and our sons, daughters, sisters, brothers being thrown in prison, and healthcare for Black women is a headache. And so I'm gonna pray. But as before I pray, I want you guys to just either say your word, I put your word in the chat of what you feel. Because I want to really hold those feelings in the space. Yeah, 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 yeah. So God of grace, God of mercy, God of righteousness, most importantly, God of love. God, today this world needs to feel your love. Today the world needs to feel your comfort. God, today the world needs to feel your peace. God, we have cried tears. God, we feel weary, we feel anxious, we feel grief, we feel all these things. But the funny thing about you is that you have a tricky way of making something beautiful out of the ashes. God, and that one thing that we thank you for today is community. We thank you for people that we would never have been connected to if it hadn't have been for the crisis. God, we thank you for the friendships that we've built. We thank you for the partnerships that we've built. We thank you for the hands that we get to hold that will last far beyond this moment. You are the God who turned ashes to beauty. So God, at this moment, let us model for our world what you have so graciously modeled for us. Let us be the example of community, of unity, of love. God, you have not only called us to stand in pulpits or stand and read scriptures and pray, but God, you have called us to actively walk and actively live out the calling you have given us. And above anything else, that call is to simply love undeniably, love recklessly, and love graciously. So God, give us your spirit. Allow us to move the ways you have challenged us to move, but the ways you have showed us to move. May we be the mercy givers. May we be the peace givers. May we be the joy givers. May we be the hope givers. May we be the love givers. Because that is what you have graciously modeled for us. God, our world needs you. And you've sent us to be you in this world. And so let everything that we do model who you have called us to be. We thank you for this moment. We thank you for the peace you will give us. We thank you for the victory we will celebrate. We will celebrate community. We will celebrate unity. And we will live in love. God, thank you. Amen.
Thank you, Stachelle, for ministering to us and reminding us and refocusing us. This concludes our online vigil today. Thank you all for joining with us. Please join us next week and at the other activities that are part of a Sacred Calling Community Safety for All program. Go in peace, go in love. May it be so.